go. Coming to live tonight on Rumble. That's right. I am streaming live from Rumble because I have just found out that Rumble actually has created a live studio. And I haven't used Rumble much, but the amazing thing about Rumble is they are now allowing us as content creators to go live into Facebook, into YouTube, and this is very powerful. In fact, I think Rumble now will start really gaining ground because they are giving tools to content creators that are very valuable. So if you see me on this, go ahead and let me know if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook. This is just a very short video. I'm just going to do a real quick lesson as my intro content for Rumble. And the nice thing I like about Rumble, if you're not familiar, is they give you a platform without censoring you. And so if you're using it and you're going into any other whether it's X or YouTube or Facebook. And if any of those other content provider networks have an issue with something you say and they somehow lock you down, you always have Rumble and they will not do that. At least that's what I understand. And that's really good news because today the world is very interesting. So what I wanted to bring to your attention, and I'm also testing this with my studio to see how it works across all channels. What I want to bring to your attention is the conscious communication. All right. So conscious communication, we're going to go into a lot of this as I release more content. I'm going to release a self-awareness verbal kind of a keto sheet so that you can actually analyze yourself. It's amazing as you listen to people. And really sometimes we don't even catch what's going on with them until it's brought to our attention to pay attention to it. So when you hear people use crutch words, and listen, I'm still working on my own because we all sometimes can fall into that trap. A crutch word is something like or maybe at the end of a sentence, you would say something like, you know, if I said quantum entanglement is about spooky things happening in far off places, right? And see, if I say right at the end of it, that's kind of looking for validation from my audience. So what's really interesting is if we start to record ourselves, we start to listen to ourselves on video and also to conversations, we can pick up these crutch words, right? See that, right there. That was a crutch word. And that will give you the opportunity then to bring awareness to your own words and replace those crutch words with a pause. Now, as a speaker myself, for decades, what I realized was I didn't like to be in front of a room speaking and to have the silent pause because it seems like a very long period when you're a speaker. The audience themselves are actually processing, trying to catch up with you. However, when we pause, it seems like a long time because all these eyeballs are on you. I'm going to tell you, though, that this is a very powerful thing to do because it gives them a chance to catch up. It accentuates what you just said. And it's very powerful. It's called the power pause. So I'm going to zoom over to my pad here and see how this works on Rumble. Oh, look at that. There it is. Let me go one more click. So let me just give you the lesson for today. And I'm going to tell you right now that when you learn to architect your words differently, not only will you have more confidence speaking in front of a group, you'll have more confidence approaching people one-on-one, even if it's for a date or for a promotion in your company. It's really about being clear, concise, and compelling. The 3 C's. Clear, concise, compelling. You want to be clear so they don't get lost in too many words and you dilute the language by using way too much information. Concise because people, my dyslexia is kicking in. Concise, you can put in the words. My brain's having a brain fart. Clear, concise, because the shorter the better, and compelling, so they're really interested in grabbing on to what you're talking about. Clear, concise. That concise is totally wrong. So here's what I wanted to bring to your attention, and I think would be really worthwhile. And the word is but. If you listen to the average person, they use the word but consistently in their language patterns. And one thing that it does is it actually cancels out what comes before it. I know sometimes people have heard this. What we want to do is we want to be able to slow down our language so that we become aware of what's coming out of our mouth. And this does take some time to do. We have to think about what we're saying. And it's a unique thing because our whole life we've learned to use this instrument, right? This body, this voice, with language patterns from our past that are what we pretty much know ourselves to be. We see ourselves in a certain light. So we want to change that. So if I said, she is pretty, right? By itself, that basically just says that lady I just saw, she is pretty, period. However, if you say she is pretty, but she is tall, now what happens is you just canceled out the fact that she's pretty, because what you're saying, she's pretty, but she's tall. Well, she's tall. It almost sounds like we don't like her now, right? She doesn't appeal to us. So what we want to do is just start to be aware when we're putting the cancellation word in, like but. We always say, get your butts out of the way. Get your butt out of the way. And people like to use but because it's a great way for them to create an excuse or to hedge. I would call it even a hedge word. It's a hedge. So you want to give a compliment, she's pretty, and at the same time, not pretty enough because she's tall, right? So it's a hedge word. So we want to be aware of this, because what would be maybe more conducive? What would be more appealing for us to say without taking away the value of this very pretty lady? Well, we would just simply replace the word but with and. Because the truth is, whether we are attracted to her or not, because maybe we like short women, the fact is she is still pretty. And she happens to be tall. And so you haven't hedged it. You're saying she's pretty and she's tall. And then, of course, you can go from there. So this comes up time and time again. I want to challenge you over the next 24 hours to pay attention to your words and see if you're getting your butt in the way. So we want to keep the butt out of the way, keep the butt out of our mouth, and really start to listen for the word but. So I want you to bring your awareness to the word but. One word tomorrow, 24 hours from now. Listen to the words you're using. See if you can listen to the but. And every time you're aware of it, replace it with and. Even if but sounds better, I want you to pay attention to it, because eventually what happens, you'll have a choice where you can say and or but you're going to be cognizant. You're going to be aware of it. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you because I think it's really a powerful thing to do. It's just one little phrase, but it can make such a difference in the way that you're perceiving the external world, the things around you, and the way you come off in your communication to the people around you. Oftentimes the but will hold you back. It cancels out, it hedges, and it devalues what you just said before. So give me your comments below. I hope you're watching me on Rumble. Hope you're watching me on YouTube and on Facebook. You're going to see more of me as I continue to put out content. My focus is to give you great content, great value, so you can use it, apply it. Again, acquiring content is one thing. I've acquired a lot in my life. However, implementing content, right? You acquire it, applying it is a whole different thing. And that's where the real value comes in. So I hope you apply this, make it an impact in your life. And let me know if you do, by the way. Come back and share if anything shifted, even if it happens in your relationships. So thanks for watching. This is Vince Dowd with Authentic Elevation. And I look forward to seeing you on the next event I do. Much love. Have a great night.